14-minute scene in of improv would have been a little much.
No, but it was brilliant. But
Thank you.
I don't know how you cut it down to, what was it, only 12 minutes?
How did you take 80 seconds out of it?
Yes, it's true. No, it was brilliant. It's brilliant. Are we doing a sequel to FDR?
We are. The sequel is Gandhi versus Zombies.
And what am I going to play?
Barry Bostwick is playing Gandhi and FDR.
That's right.
In the dual role he was never meant to play.
Have we written it yet?
So, yeah, next year, we're doing another movie together this fall. This is literally how much I love working with him. Our first project together was FDR, American Badass. I had to put him in Keller, and then he's in my new movie we shoot this fall called The Arrangement Team. And then Gandhi versus Zombies will go next year. But again, when you're lucky to have somebody like him, you kind of write around it and just put him in as much as shit as you can. You know?
But in this new movie, I'm going to play the president. And how did I want to play the president originally?
You called me and said, I want to play it as a Mexican president with a mustache in a black wig, I believe.
Yeah, I think black wig.
Yeah. This movie's for the military.
I wanted to be a mariachi player.
A mariachi player who's the president.
I thought it was appropriate. But
Which, look, Donald Trump's running. Anything's possible right now. A mariachi player could be fucking president. At this point, I don't even know anymore what's going to happen.
That's right. But I have to play him fairly straight then.
Straight or gay?
Yeah.
You can play gay if you want.
Yeah. Oh,
no, this one is straight. This one is straight. Yeah, this one's drama.
Yeah,
this one's the movie's a comedy, but your part is dramatic.
Oh,
He's the president of the United States, current day. It'd be great if we threw you back as FDR again. It would be great. So, what are you guys the biggest fans of Rocky Horror Picture?
Our 40th anniversary this year, right? Yeah, 40th. My God. How does that make you feel? Old. I don't feel old. I don't, because I keep working with geniuses like this to my right. They keep you young. They keep you really.
Dude, this guy stays up like 18 hours a day. Barely little coffee. Like he's got more energy than any of us combined. It's insanity. Insanity.
Yeah, I do. Well, I've got teenagers at home. You have to.
Yeah.
So, are there any? Do you guys have any questions for either one of us? That, like, how do you keep this mic?
I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna keep it up.
How do you keep your mic up? Yeah, I don't have that problem. He knows it was only Barry's mic. It's only Barry's mic that was going lit. This mic straight up. Straight up.
All right. Yes, sir.
I was going to ask about the George Washington miniseries you did in the 80s.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, what are some of your memories of that, and how do you feel about that as part of the body of your work? Because I saw it on television and I thought it was really very good, and maybe you should have George Washington against vampires. I mean, we already had Abraham Lincoln vampire.
I know. I believe you won a Golden Globe for that, didn't you?
No, I won a Golden Globe for War and Remembrance, a 30-hour miniseries. But yes, thank you. No, I got nothing for that. For George Washington.
Well, truthfully, they're gearing up for a huge George Washington picture right now.
Really?
Yeah, $100 million. Yeah, it's called The General. A friend of mine's producing it, but you would be perfect for it.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I'm sure they'll get Channing Tatum and Angel now.
Yeah, I regret they wouldn't let me do the nose. I had pretty much everything else he had, except smarts and all that. And
wooden teeth.
Political side, yeah, wooden teeth, yeah. But we shot it in the middle of summer in Mount Vernon and all those real places, and it was very hot. And we were in wool uniforms and stuff, and they said, no, we're not going to let you do the nose because it would set production back every time it sort of pulled off your face and everything. So I don't look like him, but I think I acted somewhat like him, as well as we know. You know, one of the issues was what did he sound like? Because nobody ever really, nobody knew what he sounded like. He was an American, though. I mean, he was born here, and so he didn't have an English accent. But it was a well-researched miniseries, and it was based on a Pulitzer Prize book, The Indispensable Man. And so we had experts around us, you know, leading us down the right road with that. And every time we shot in one of the real places, whether it was Mount Vernon or any place in Philadelphia, there was always the docents of the places that we were shooting at would give us great advice. And I got a lot of fill-ins from those kinds of people of like, well, what did he really do here, or what, blah, blah, blah. And everybody had something good to offer, you know. And Patty Duke is brilliant in it. Patty Duke played Martha. And she was like, she in reality is 4'11", and I'm 6'3", which was the exact same distance between them. You know, I sort of felt that the only reason I really got the part was because I was tall. And I was 6'3", you know, 6'4", and he was 6'3". Yeah. I don't have anything humorous to say about that, because he didn't have a great sense of humor, I think. You know, he was a pretty serious guy. And so am I. Yeah. Yes, in the back there. Yes.
What was your favorite song to perform in Rocky Horror, and why?
Oh. How old are you?
I'm 14.
14. Oh. Well, then it was the Time Warp. And that's why, because you're 14. Anybody else who's not 14? Oh.
No, I just want to know, when you did Rocky Horror, did anybody in that cast ever have a clue that it would be what it is today, still going 1,000 miles an hour?
No. You know, they had done it on stage for a couple of years in London and in Los Angeles. And then once we finished the film, Tim and a few of the others went and did it on Broadway at the Belasco Theater, I think. And it was such a failure on Broadway because they tried to clean it up. They made it too big. They put this, they took the audience chairs out and they put in like little tables and things and tried to make it into a cabaret, but it was a huge, it wasn't what the show is, which is basically a garage, dirty, small, you know, punky kind of show, and they tried to clean it up too much, and it got bad reviews and closed quite quickly. So I think by that time they were really worried about whether or not the movie was even going to make any money in its initial run. And it was only successful in Los Angeles and two other places, and it was pulled quite quickly. And so when it was on Broadway, it was a failure, and when it first came out, it was a failure. And then the brilliant people at 20th came up with the idea of this whole midnight thing. And then it became the fans' movie, you know, and the fans really have made this movie what it is, and they own it. You know, they own it. They talk back to it. They create who we are, you know, every night on the you know, they have written the first line of my obituary, you know, asshole just died. So, thank you for that. Yes.
Do groups of people still get together, like the cults, you know, with all the props and all that on Friday nights?
Oh, all over the world. Oh my God, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The 80s was a hot.
I would say it's even grown more, truthfully, like because of Facebook and social media, they're able, you're able to find out where other groups are in different cities. So I mean, it's become even bigger than it was in the 80s, I think, because of social media.
Yeah, it's true. It's not in as many venues, I think, but it's
like people being posts and the image.
Still do.
Yeah.
Still do. I mean, they ruined an awful lot of beautiful theaters around the world. And so a lot of the times, now they can't bring in the guns and the rice and some of the things. But it's because they misbehaved, which was their want. And they should misbehave. Yes?
Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay,
Ladies first.
You were saying you're a serious person, so when they gave your character, Brad, the nickname asshole, were you offended? Or did you have a good sense of humor about it?
Oh no, I have a great sense of humor.
Oh, good.
That's why at my little table I sell my underwear. If you came by my table, I also have little jewelry things that I make. I'm a potter, a ceramicist, and for one convention, I made a bunch of jewelry things, necklaces, and on one of them I put asshole. And another one I put slut. I balanced it out. Yeah.
But you actually continuing on with her question, from what I remember, pretty much you're the only one that's been really cool through the whole time with the fandom of it. Tim and Susan, did you ever look at them and go, relax and enjoy it, guys, have fun with it? You've always been cool about it.
Well, yeah, they're just so busy. They don't get involved that much because they're not. I don't think it's because Susan dislikes it. We did I think the 10th or the 20th anniversary or something. She just. But Tim, on the other hand, is very ill at the moment, and he's always felt that he didn't want to get sort of blasted into being a Frankenfurter his whole life. And at the time that he'd done it for close to 2 years on stage, he did the movie and came to New York, and it wasn't very successful. And I think he just was disappointed in that whole thing and wanted to move on. But
also, your reps tell you at a certain point when to stop doing things and things like that. So sometimes with a lot of cult films, no matter what they are across the board, agents and managers will also tell you, like, hey, it's time to break away from that and move on with it. Others, like Barry, and he embraces every role he plays, so he's cool to everybody. I have the good fortune of sitting next to him at the booth for a lot of these things, and he's just genuinely great for every movie he does and every single fan, but he's just like that in real life. Some people just aren't approachable too, where,
Well, like you really, when you came on to Spin City, that lifted that show back up, and you played yourself. I mean, you were just great on that. It was just, you were the funny bit every time.